Howdy folks, welcome back to another Cigar Box guitar lesson. Today we are going to learn how to play Donovan's Mellow Yellow on Cigar Box guitar. And real quick, I posted a cover video and I used this hobo fiddle right here to do it, and I posted that, I don't know, a few weeks ago now. And I got a couple comments on that video that said this would make a good future lesson. So I'm giving you guys what you're asking for. I try to respond to your comments, and I really do appreciate your comments. But today we're going to learn that one. I don't want to say it's complex. It's not complex compared to like classical music or something like that, but it's not just the same, it's not something like this. It's not something like that that just repeats over and over. It's got a little more to it. It does repeat over and over, but it's a lot longer phrase that repeats. But that said, I think we can do this. And if you've been following this series, this is a series I've been doing here on YouTube. Every month I post another Cigar Box guitar tutorial, and I've got a playlist of those that you can check out. And I try to do things that I think would be easy for a beginner to pick up, but also something that could be fun for someone that's been playing for years as well. Okay, so I'm using my hobo fiddle today, which this is a cool little instrument. It's kind of like a combination between a Cigar Box guitar and a ukulele. But anyway, it's tuned just like a standard Cigar Box guitar 3-stringer. It's G, D, G. So that's how this is going to be phrased today, is from the perspective of a G, D, G Cigar Box guitar. Now, if you have a full-length Cigar Box guitar, it'll work fine. If you have a slide Cigar Box guitar, you might be able to make it work, but for this tutorial, the way I'm going to do it today, you really need a fretted 3-string Cigar Box guitar. But again, any Cigar Box guitar will work. If it's tuned in any of the other 151 tunings, like EBE or FCF, that will work fine as well. It'll just be in a little bit of a different key. Okay, so first, let's talk about the strumming pattern. Now, the strumming pattern for this song is one of the simplest you'll ever come across. Consequently, it's the kind of thing where if you're a little off, it sounds a lot off. And I'll show you what I'm saying. Here's the strumming pattern. It's just all down strums on the quarter note, okay? You really want to separate, and you want to get that. Okay, and the other thing that you notice is I'm muting in between each strum. Now, you can play it like this, and it will still sound like the song. So you can do that, especially if you're trying to learn. You can just straight up strum it down. But what you really want to do is you want to strum and then mute. And so the technique that I use is I strum and then drop my palm on the strings. Like that. So when you do that repeatedly, it looks like this. And then you get that really separated. So that's the technique that I use. Now, like I said, when you're doing it the first time, you can just do this. It's still gonna sound more or less the same. Now, real quick, before we get into the verse and the chorus, there are 5 chords that you're going to need for this song. And the first one is a D chord. Actually, the first one, technically, in the way that the song goes, is an A chord. And for that, we're actually gonna use an A5, which just means push all 3 strings down at the 2nd fret. And that's what that sounds like. Then the next chord we're going to use is our D chord. Now, technically, this is a D5 as well. Technically, it's a D5 inverted if you want to be a music geek. What we're going to do is 2nd fret on the low string, open on the middle string, 2nd fret on the high string. So there's our D. Next, we're going to do a G chord. And for that one, we're going to go open, open, 4th fret on the high string. So that's what that sounds like. And then we're going to do an A flat, which is just like our A. Remember our A here, our A5. We're going to do an A flat 5, which is just slide it down to the 1st fret. So all 3 strings press down at the 1st fret. Okay, so that's our A flat. And we only use that, like, it's a real quick chord that's used in passing, but you are going to need that one. Okay, and then our 5th chord is our A7. And again, this is technically an A5, 7, or it could be thought of as an A7 minus the 3rd if you want to get technical on the music theory. But what you're doing is 2nd fret, open. Okay, so there are your 5 chords. Okay, so first, let's get into the verse phrase. And you will play this with every verse. Like I said, the song has 5 verses. And It's this exact same thing for each one of them, okay? So the song technically starts with 8 A's like this. The intro is, okay? So after you do those 8 A's, then you go right into your first chord progression of the verse, and then that repeats each time. And so the way that chord progression goes, all right, because remember, we're just strumming our straight 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Okay, and so what you're gonna do is you're gonna do 4 Ds. So remember, our D looks like this, all right? And second, open second. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Then we're gonna go to 4 Gs. So remember, our G is open, open, fourth. Then we're gonna go back to 4 more Ds. And then we're gonna go to 3 A's and an A flat. Okay, so let's just play what we've got so far. And I'm not gonna play the intro each time, but remember there's the eight A's at the beginning. Okay, so we're that far. All right, and then after that, we're gonna go back to our G, but we're gonna play 8 Gs. Okay, and here's a good trick for you to know, not just for cigar box guitar, but any instrument. When you're playing 4 or 2, you count 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4. But when you're playing 8, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when you get to 7, it's weird, because if you're strumming 7, you want to do an upstroke on the VIN, right? 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's going to confuse you. So what you do instead, always count 7 as sev. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Use that trick. You'll thank me. So we're going to do 8 Gs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to do 4 A's. And then 4 A7s. Okay? So let me give you the whole thing that we've got so far. And by the way, that is the entire verse. Okay? And I'm going to do it a little bit slower, just so you can get it. Now I'm not going to play I'm not going to play the 8 A's at the beginning this time. We'll just start with the 4 D's. So we got D, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, A flat, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, A, 2, 3, 4, A7, 2, 3, 4. Okay? You've got the verse now. That is the verse. That whole thing repeats to the verse. And if you just think about the lyrics, they go to that really well, because you got the I'm just mad about Saffron. She's just mad about me. I'm just mad about Saffron. She's just mad about me. And what's next is our chorus. So now let's learn our chorus. And so our chorus is another long phrase, but it's not, if you've learned the verse, you can learn the chorus. The chorus is shorter. So the chorus is a little bit simpler. It's going to start off with 4 Ds. And then we're going to go to 2 Gs and 2 A7s. Okay? So this is what that sounds like in context. And then we're going to do that again. We're going to do 4 Ds, 2 Gs, 2 A7s again. So this is how that sounds in context. Okay? Then we're going to do 4 Ds again. 4 Gs this time instead of 2. And then we do 8 A's. Back to the verse. So I just threw a lot at you there with the chorus. Let's do that again. So we're going to start off with our D. 2, 3, 4, G, 2, A7, 2, D, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, A7, 2, D, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 2 little extra things that you have to remember, other than those 2 riffs, is at the very beginning you start off with 8 A's, remember? And then the last time after you play the chorus, the 5th time, you go to the D and you end on the D. And if you can do all of that, you've got the entire song. And the verses, you know, you gotta learn the lyrics if you're gonna sing it and play it. But the verses are all pretty easy. So like the second verse, you would do this. I'm just mad about 14. 14's mad about me. I'm just mad about 14. She's just mad about me. They call me Mellow Yellow. They call me Mellow Yellow. They call me Mellow Yellow. And if that was the end of the song, that's only the second verse, but if that was the end of the song, that's where you do your D. You play 8 A's at the beginning, you play the verse once through, the chorus once through, repeat the verse, repeat the chorus, 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 and end on your D. But it's actually a really fun song to play. Once you get those 2 riffs down, you can play it, you can start adding your own verses. It's a really fun song. So give that a shot. So if you like these tutorials, why don't you go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And of course, if you like my channel, I'd love it if you would click that subscribe button below. I'll be back soon with another video, and I'd love to read your comments. See you next time.